Hey guys, in this month's Disney Rewind, we're going to be talking about Fun and Fancy Free, released back in 1947. Fun and Fancy Free is divided into two different segments. The first segment telling the story of Bongo, a circus bear who just wants to go out into the wild. And the second story being Mickey and the Beanstalk, about Mickey, Donald, and Goofy who happen to go up a beanstalk and they encounter the evil giant. Okay, so overall impressions about Fun and Fancy Free.
Well, it was okay as a whole. Bongo was okay. Sometimes it was a bit slow, but I really liked the Mickey and the Beanstalk story.
Yeah, me too. The story of Bongo itself, like we said, is a story about a circus bear who's kind of fed up with his life in the circus, and he wants to escape out into the wild and meet other bears, but it doesn't go according to plan. But overall, Bongo, it was cute at first. I don't know, I guess it was cute.
It was cute at the beginning, but then all of a sudden it was just kind of boring, like halfway through it.
It did, it got kind of boring, and I didn't like the songs in it, the lady singing it. I seriously about went to sleep. I might have gone to sleep, I'm not quite sure. But it started off good. I liked about the first 5-10 minutes of Bongo, but then yeah, after that I just wasn't, it wasn't doing it for me. And then the second part, like the synopsis at the beginning said, was about Mickey and the Beanstalk, which has Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck, and Goofy. And in this kind of retelling of Jack and the Beanstalk, Mickey, Donald, and Goofy are three peasants living in a house, and they're starving. And so Mickey gets some magic beans, Beanstalk grows, they're up there looking for the magic harp. We encounter the giant, blah blah blah. I did like Mickey and the Beanstalk the best.
I wish it was an entire movie.
That didn't bore me at all. Were you ever bored with that? I was never bored with that at all.
I laughed through the whole thing.
Yeah, compared to Bongo, yeah, I was laughing a lot during that, and there was some genuinely funny moments. And cute stuff too, especially with Donald.
Except when it went back to the guy narrating, who was also a ventriloquist. That's kind of like, I wanted it to go back to the movie.
In case you don't know what we're talking about, the movie, both segments are kind of in this frame narrative, and it opens up with Jiminy Cricket from Pinocchio. This is some crazy crossover event, you guys. Jiminy Cricket is kind of narrating this whole thing, setting up. He's singing the theme song, Fun and Fancy Free, and then it goes to Bongo, and then it goes back to Jiminy. There's this middle segment, and it goes to this ventriloquist guy with his two dummies and this little girl, and then that kind of sets up the whole Jack and the Beanstalk story. And then when Mickey and the Beanstalk is over, then it goes back to that frame narrative with Jiminy and the ventriloquist guy and the girl and the dummies. But I did like the ventriloquist guy. There was some funny moments. I didn't really necessarily like the whole thing, but there were some funny bits.
Well, I mean, it was funny, but I just wanted the whole thing to be about the Beanstalk.
Fun fact, the reason Bongo and Mickey and the Beanstalk are even combined is because, what did the little featurette at the end say? Because of World War II? Mm-hmm. That was the issue, that they had started development on Mickey and the Beanstalk and Bongo, and they were going to be two full-length feature films, but because of World War II, that all kind of got pushed back, and their resources got held up.
They're animators.
Yeah, they're animators.
Some of them went to war.
Yeah. So, and then after World War II, then they decided to just put both movies together, and that's why they are together. Which I don't like, ultimately. Like we're saying, we liked Mickey and the Beanstalk, and it would have been great if that was a full-length film instead. So, on to some rapid-fire questions. Our favorite character?
I don't know. For the second month in a row.
Yes. Yes, I think when we started watching it, I was like, oh no, I'm not going to have a single favorite character. But then Donald, I ended up really loving Donald. He had some funny moments. During the Mickey and the Beanstalk segment, Donald's the one who's going the most nuts and he's hungry, and there's just some very Gollum and Schmeagol moments going on with him, and he gets all crazy and his feathers are all ruffled, and it was adorable. I loved kind of psychotic, manic Donald. Best song. Were there any songs? I can't even remember any of the songs, so I guess we'll just skip that one.
The only one I don't even like, it was just weird, was during Bongo, and they were talking about the way bears show affection, where to give each other a slap, and the song was so stupid.
I think we should show affection and slap each other. That'd be great. So moving on from song, because that was just ridiculous. Those songs were freaking boring. Favorite scene?
My favorite scene was, we kind of already told it, when the narrator sat there and he focused on Donald, because it was supposed to be that Mickey, Donald, and Goofy were peasants in this valley. And
Happy Valley.
Yeah, well, it was Happy Valley, then it turned to like Misery Valley. And so he was sitting there and they was focused on Donald, and then the narrator, he was like, look at this poor miserable creature, and look how sad he looks and everything, and then he's just kept going on, and then Donald snapped, and he's like, I can't take it anymore, and then he like started eating the dishes.
Yeah.
Because they didn't have no food, they had like a little thin slice of bread and beans, and he started eating the dishes, and he started going crazy, and then Mickey was restraining him, and I think that was my favorite scene.
I think that was one of my favorite scenes too. Let's put it this way, the Mickey and the Beanstalk overall was just the best out of both movies. And I liked Psychotic Donald. I liked once they actually got to the castle up in the Beanstalk, and then they started going crazy eating stuff. I also liked the whole segment with the formation of the Beanstalk. That was kind of cool. And them asleep. I would not be asleep, I'd be screaming. But they were asleep, and it was kind of cute and funny how they were kind of being carried around by the leaves and the roots of the beanstalk. Best line.
My favorite line kind of took place right after my favorite scene. And it was after Donald settled down a little bit, and he looked over at a hatchet that was on the wall. The narrator said something along the lines of, what plan is this poor demented duck hatching? And then, because I think Donald was going to go hack up the cow for food.
Mm-hmm. That was cute, calling him a demented duck. And then my favorite line has to be when the narrator of Mickey and the Beanstalk was talking about Happy Valley and how Happy Valley was no longer happy. And it was just misery, misery, misery. And then one of the dummies goes, just like 8th grade. So true, so true. So now it's time for a book recommendation. If you like fun and fancy free, you may enjoy The Kingdom Keepers, Disney After Dark by Ridley Pearson. And I'm clutching at some straws here, people. Just go with me for a minute. I was having an incredibly difficult time trying to find something that could kind of go with the spirit and mood of fun and fancy free, and this book was kind of what I came up with. If you cannot tell from the title, this is a story that takes place in the Disney World theme park, and it's about a group of kids who I can't quite remember what happens in this book. It's been a very long time since I read it, but the kids get stuck in the park after night, and a lot of the characters come to life for real. And so you got a lot of characters kind of crossing over who have never met before, and especially all the villains, I think, is what this one's mostly about. So basically kind of how I'm connecting this to fun and fancy free is just because of the sense of adventure prevalent in both the movie and this book. Even Bongo goes off on an adventure once he escapes the circus. Mickey and the gang go on a journey up to Beanstalk that's full of adventure. So just kind of relating to the sense of adventure. If you like fun and fancy free, you may like this book, and it does a lot with Disney World, so win-win. So, concluding thoughts about fun and fancy free. If you were to rate it on a scale of 1 to 10 Mickey ears, what would you give it? This is hard. Because of Bongo. It's all Bongo's fault. If Bongo had been so flippin' boring.
I think I would give Fun and Fancy Free a 6.
6? You're being awfully generous. I think I would give Fun and Fancy Free a 5 out of 10 Mickey ears. I think I could have possibly have gone up to 6 or maybe even 7 if the bongo part hadn't been so boring. So because of bongo, that's, yeah, for me a 5, and that's why it's kind of low like that. But yeah, for just Mickey and the Beanstalk in general, yeah, I would probably go pretty high with a 7 for just that story alone. But I have to consider both stories, so just a 5, I guess.
Yeah.
So 6 for you?
Yeah. I think it was because I like the Beanstalk.
So I guess that's it for our review of Fun and Fancy Free. Not anything particularly enlightening about this video. We were kind of mixed on it. Have you guys seen Fun and Fancy Free? What did you think about it? I know when we started watching this, I was like, who the hell is Bongo? Because I immediately remembered and recalled the Mickey and the Beanstalk segment of the story, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, I have no idea who Bongo is, and I did not remember any of that. So, have you, like us, if you've seen it, is that all you recall is Mickey and the Beanstalk, just like us? So that's it for this month's Disney Rewind. We hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you liked this month's Disney Rewind, you may like these. Bye, guys.